what I've done now is I came out here on the ice early. There's plenty of light outside, as you can see. I've blacked out the back here so I'm not ruining video, but it's a little after 2 o'clock, and the bite window on the harbor is primarily based around the low light conditions. Now, a lot of walleye bites, in my experience, which I'm no walleye expert, but from what I've learned is the low light conditions have definitely picked up biting percentages. I'm out here early so I can talk and not spook the fish. We're in 9.5 feet of water. It's very shallow. It's extremely shallow, and a very important thing to remember when you're fishing early in the season, these walleyes, they come into the shallows to feed, and a lot of people think that 10 feet, 12 feet is extremely shallow. 8 feet, that's getting to the point where you're not going to see the fish in the wintering period. That's just not true. You know, these walleyes can come up into 4 feet of water. And the big thing is being quiet. If you can get into your spot and you can set up, be quiet for half an hour, have your lines down, have your tip up set up if that's what you're doing, you can really key on great bites when you're not spooking these fish and making a bunch of noise on these really shallow flats, or even on shallow points, shallow structures, rock spines, gravel to mud transitions. In this shallow water, it's really just as important to be quiet as it is to use the proper bait, the proper presentation. This winter has been extremely cold the last 2 weeks, and with a cold front, typically the bite will slow down. In this shallow water, in this moving water, that doesn't seem to always be the case. You really have to experiment with fishing during dark times of the day, during night, coming out in the middle of the day, seeing where the most active fish are and how they move. By no means will one lake set up just like another lake. So what I've done is come out here, drill some holes, find some structure, which there isn't much structure out here. There's subtle contours that you want to place yourself on, hopefully in the middle of a high traffic percentage area where these walleyes are going to come up, and hopefully run into a couple of your baits that you have down in the water.
Coming up to look at it. Slacklined it again. About the same size. Nice fish. It's just so good to see healthy classes of fish like this coming through. We got another one on the bottom there coming through my hole, but it's so nice to see numbers of smaller class fish. It's such a big fishery. You know, we have a plethora of options here. Man, we got fish down there, boy.